Another video here by the Tokyo real estate man. And in today's short video, I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of the Canadian or Vancouver, or even in some cases, North American real estate bubble. And well, I'm going to equate it in this video to almost like a mental sickness. And you could say that that's probably an exaggeration, and I kind of would agree with you in a way, but in recent videos, I've probably overused the term street hustler, but in some ways I think it is an accurate description about me, in that I'm always a person that's looking for who's had like a surplus of currency come to me, and I'm always looking for ways for me that I could use that currency to create more currency and turn it into like smart investing. So I come from that sort of a hustler sense, or like a person that's always looking for value in the economy. And how that, I'm going to try to direct it to this conversation about the Canadian bubble psychology. And I've underestimated this Canadian real estate bubble psychology. And in recent days, I had a chance to do a video with my internet friend, and actually we met in Tokyo, Daniel, formafist, and he has really helped me to understand the deepness of the mentality of the Canadian real estate bubble, which is actually it's almost a mental sickness in some ways. It's just it's become like obsessive, this chase for real estate, and it's become to be, I mean, you could connect it with the tulip thing in some ways, because it's just in some ways become irrational. And I can tell you, as a person that's been transplanted here from the outside, yeah, and I've talked to a lot of people, whether that be at my shop or just in I tend to talk to a lot of people in life, and undoing this bullish sentiment in the market just seems impossible. No one can think that the prices would revert to some sort of mean, or correct to some sort of mean. That is just an absolute psychological impossibility. And the formafist has helped me to has actually guided me through this understanding of this psychology, because I really didn't understand it in some ways. I underestimated it. I figured, because especially with the interest rates going up, I figured that the numbers just don't work, so that would just sort of eventually lead, just like the stock market does. But the stock market is much like in the same way. It can collide quickly in market events and like that. But the psychology of this bubble, like even in the stock market as well, is just stronger than I can. I was in the sauna today, and there was still a guy. He was a really interesting guy. His name was Matthew. And then he said, if you look at the long-term charts, you should always buy the dip. And like, to me, any sort of correction, there hasn't been any correction here at all in Vancouver real estate. There's no point, or there hasn't been any dip yet. And I'm filming here, I think on the 7th or 6th or 7th of November. And, I've sort of, over the last week and a half of just conversing and making the video with Daniel, I've understood that this Canadian real estate sort of bubble is in the psychology, like beyond, like it's just beyond what I could sort of like imagine. And formafist had talked about Maybe that's kind of what happened in Tokyo, that the bubble unwound over like 15 years. It takes almost like 15 years. It took, like I said in the video we did, it took 10 years to go down, and then basically stayed on the bottom for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And I think that's kind of what has to happen here in Vancouver, to sort of, how are you gonna say it, like untie? I almost feel like it's a straitjacket in order to like untie like the Canadian people from their, the abundance of land we have in this country, but the idea that the real estate should be this, just it's like, even now as I talk to you in this video, there's so many things that I find it a conundrum. There's so many different angles that I just don't understand about it. But in recent times, the formafist has helped me to understand the market psychology in much deeper ways. And yeah, that's a great channel, formafist invest. If you have a chance to go there and you want to understand a little bit about the psychology of the Canadian real estate bubble, he's certainly helped me. Anyways, another video here from Stanley Park by the Tokyo Real Estate Man, signing out.